How do you answer the refs gifting UNC?
He is just not going to stop.
I think, listen, nobody has been harder on officials than we have for a couple reasons. I don't think officiating, like, Blaine makes a really good point. He said it before. It's like the athletes are getting better and the game's getting faster and the officials are getting worse. And different sports have different levels of quality officiating. And I know it's not the easiest job in the world, but they always make it sound like the hardest job in the world. They're like, being an official in college basketball is the hardest job in the world. It's like, no, why don't you go talk to a coal miner or a single mother? Like, it's not an impossible job. Or the guy that somehow puts the wires that builds the nuke together with splitting the atoms and stuff.
Let's dissect this accusation here.
Because I don't think that game was decided by the officials.
Let's ask a very simple question. Where's the motive? I feel like we're going to litigate this thing. Where's the motive? Because if there were collusion, it would be to get Coach K in the
100%.
championship, not to keep him out. Where's
100%.
the motive?
Would there be?
Yes.
See, why do you buy? Just because, look, and Duke had a great run, and you had a lot of trust in them and love. All right, and I know they let you down. It's
okay,
right.
guys.
Listen.
Okay.
Hey.
HR.
Hey. You deserve,
HR.
You deserve
They're
to
not.
say.
We're not in Nashville.
Well,
They're not here.
I would have to
way
say,
you can
though,
blame
if you
the
go back
officials
and
for
you
that
look
loss.
at that game, the difference, in my opinion, if you were going to say this about the refs,
Is it in your opinion,
Let's
though?
let's look at the paint. The paint touches with Paulo Banchero. It was a lot different the way they called North Carolina's paint presence to where they called Duke's paint presence.
Duke had
Because
two fouls with 6 minutes to go in the
Brady
second half.
Manick, I'm not talking about 6 minutes ago in the second half. All right? Look at the entire first half when Baycott got most of his rebounds. Manick fouled Paulo Banchero probably 3 times in the paint. They didn't call it. The first 2 shots he called were in the he shot in the paint. They didn't call foul. It was blatantly the foul. Then almost if you touched Baycott in the paint, it was a foul. And that was the difference. Mark Williams sat in the first half with 2. Their backup center sat in the first half with 4.
Boy.
And Baycott, basically, I guess he's the most non-fouling center you have ever seen in your life. There was a difference, but was it a huge difference? No, I don't think so. I think the difference in that game was Caleb Love at the end of the day. He had the killer look in his eye, and he made big shots at big moments. That's what big-time players do. But there was a slight difference in the way they called the paint for North Carolina and the way they called the paint for Duke.
You feel better now?
No. But let's
get it all out.
Let's hold on.
A little more
Let's
out.
make sure we get this out.
Get a little more out.
All right. I did have Duke losing in my Final Four.
Okay, but I'll say it again. The officials were not the difference in that game. The difference was Duke couldn't shoot a 3 over the long term, even though they did keep a lead and even stretch a lead a little bit. But the officials were not the reason that game went down like that. North Carolina making the plays at the end and Duke not. I will say the one thing about the officiating, the one call that I do agree was egregious and the rules should be changed so it really wasn't a bad call is the continuation foul on Keels.
You think so?
It should have been a continuation.
That wasn't on the floor?
It should have been continuation.
I don't know.
I know you've had the.
I mean, how much do you want to turn the college game into NBA?
Yeah, well, that's the question.
But okay, well,
because realistically, that was not a continuation foul.
Okay. And
it could definitely be classified
he
as
took 2 steps after he got fouled.
If you change the rule, what do you think continuation means? You don't have a continuation rule in college.
So are you saying that we should change the rule and then that would have qualified as a continuation? Or
yes,
that was already...
No, that call last night was the right call. They shouldn't have given him the basket.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, on Sunday night. What I'm saying, Saturday night. Yeah. What I'm saying is the rule. We should have the continuation rule in college basketball.
I honestly thought the worst calls I saw on Saturday were against Kansas. Right? We saw them live, Blaine. Remember the couple that I was like, what is a charge?
Ones? Yeah.
No. It was the.
What is?
Well, that brings me to a beautiful question that I have right here from the one and only Cal Kennedy.
Yeah,
that's my man.
All right. So, which is easier to answer? Okay. What is a charge, or what is targeting?
What is a charge?
It's easier to answer?
Yes. Because guess what you can do for targeting every time?
Review it. That's why. But
if you're talking about on the fly, if you're talking about from an official's vantage point, what's harder, targeting or charging? To me, I think targeting is harder to call because it's happening a lot faster and from many, many different angles. If you look at a charge, you have to be set. You can't be in the restricted area, which they even call charges when guys are moving. Not that it's a ton easier, but in targeting of football, it's happening so fast. It's hard to exactly see were his eyes up? Did he launch? Where was the contact? and then you can review it every time.
And because the penalty is so severe, when the guy gets kicked out of the game, they go make sure that they review it. But look, we've gone on a diatribe about targeting.
Yeah.
Sure. I feel like they get block charge right most of the time, considering how fast the game is going. But a couple of those the other day were egregious.
I just think they get, let's move on after this, but I feel like they get stuck in the moment of what's going on in the game whenever it's bang bang with the blocker charge. Very rarely do you see, if a team has a lot of momentum or a team's at home, if there's a call that's close with a blocker charge, a lot of time it's going to go to the team with the momentum or the team at home. A lot of the time.
If you like that content, go ahead and subscribe, because we're going to be balling every day on Crain and Company. Hit that like button while you're at it, and go ahead and smash it like Derrick Henry on an ISO run.